I think there is no one in this audience who doesn't know Dr. A.N. Supe, but it's my duty to introduce the orator for this prestigious oration. Professor Dr. Avinash N. Supe is currently Secretary of Asia Pacific Hepatobiliary Association, Director of GS Medical College, Federation of Advances in International Medical Education and Research, Professor Emeritus of Surgical Gastroenterology at State GS Medical College. He is also editor of Journal Medical Education, Postgraduate Medicine. He is chairman of GI Surgery of National Board of Examinations, and he is a member of National Committee of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. He is recipient of 43 national and international awards and fellowships and medals. He is a teacher par excellence, and he has received prestigious Dr. P.C. Roy Award, also MB, MUHS and National Board Awards for Best Teacher. He is trained at Memorial Sloan Kettering Center, New York and Hamburg. He is recipient of International College of Surgeons Fellowship, FAI-MER Fellow in 2002, International Fellowship in Medical Education in 2007. He has also done Masters in Health Professions Education from University of Illinois. He is ex-Director of Medical Education and Major Hospitals of Municipal Corporation of Greater Mumbai, ex-Dean of KM Hospital and Sion Hospital, Mumbai, past President of Indian Chapter of IHPBA, Academy of Health Professional Educators of India, Academic Council Member and Board of Study Member of Maharashtra University of Health. He is also Chairman of Medical Council of India Reconciliation Board and Associate Editor of the Clinical Teacher. He has till date, delivered many prestigious orations. He has more than 263 publications in national and international journals. He wrote 5 books, and he is a faculty and speaker all over the world. His other interests includes wildlife, nature, medical photography, and writing medical articles in various print media. He also wrote Marathi book Arogya Sampada. The Pune Surgical Society is indeed privileged to have Professor Dr. Avinash N. Supe as the orator for Dr.Mrs.M.J.Mehta Oration for 2018 and 19 delivered on this day. Thank you. I request Dr. A.N. Supe to deliver this oration. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I think it's before this there was a condolence, and we were really touched with Dr. Mehta. Just left us about last month. At the outset, let me thank Pune Surgical Society for this honor. I'm really honored and humbled. A lot has been said about Dr. Mehta, so I would not really go much more, but I would like to quote Dr. Pradeep Sharma when he wrote on the Facebook, wonderfully she wrote that she was beautiful, intelligent, dashing, stern, strict master, but at the same time warm and loving, dedicated to the patient care. But more than what surgery she did, she also had probably done more commandos, and that time in Tata. Philanthropically, she has helped so many poor patients financially, and some not so rich students who set up their hospitals. I think that was she was a teacher par excellence. It is said that occasionally saints take birth in this world. She was a saint in true sense. So aptly said and so touchingly. I think for me, Dr. Mehta was a great surgeon and humanitarian, and I think I heard her GM Oration in 1989 at Supe, and that really inspired me to do, and that was the time when I started doing esophageal. And I think there are some kind of surgeons or some personalities make an impact on you about how dedication should be, I think Dr. Mehta was one of the top in that, and I think we must respect her and remember her for that. Now today I am going to really talk with a story. This is a story of my own relative who was a 61-year-old, and he was a chartered accountant, had no diabetes or hypertension, complained of an epigastric and substernal discomfort, was admitted in ICCU in a bit of the city of Mumbai. ECG was normal. Next day went to see a gastroenterologist who did endoscopy and found there was a gastritis. Started on Mucan gel and was fever but responded to paracetamol. Somebody asked for a sonography. Sonography showed there was a thickened gallbladder, distended, very mucosal. LFT showed bilirubin of 3.6 and INR raised, take surgeon's opinion. Went to a very reputed surgeon. Started getting fever and chills, WBC count raised, extreme weakness, admitted with IV antibiotics and MRCP. MRCP normal, but CT showed a sealed perforation with pleural effusion. Lab cole showed empyema gallbladder with necrosed wall, subdiaphragmatic collection with a very severe acute cholecystitis. Post-operative cystic stump leak, stented better, the discharge still remains even after discharge. People have to go through this kind of varied presentations in spite of having so much of experience in our life. So, a simple thing of cholecystitis, which we really think can be extremely severe, it can be of with perforations, has a varied presentation, might remains unnoticed, but it could be a very life-threatening disease if it's a severe. All of us treat this disease every day, and there are some cases which really flip us. And therefore, there is a need for stratification and development of SOPs for the things which we do commonly. And therefore, today what I am really going to share with you in this small oration is Journey of Tokyo Guidelines, algorithmic approach and risk stratification. And this is something which I learned over the last 15 years, which I would like to really share with you. Now, all of us continue to take decisions. All of us take decisions at different levels. And decision making is not so precise science. All of you realize that it is not something which is 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. It is a process of making educated guesses based on the research, experience and planning. And what is important about decision making is patients still die of simple things either missed, delayed or done suboptimally. And approximately 80% of clinical time spent is in the cognitive domain, and we are never scientifically trained about all this. Now, if you look at decision situations, usually we get about 4 decision situations. 1, certainty, where we are very sure about what we are really doing and we do it. There is always a conflicting kind of decisions, in which case there is an uncertainty and there is a risk. And we all around in our decision making play around these 4 things. And therefore we find that if we want to make a shared decisions, we have to understand the whole science of clinical decision making. Now, how do we make decisions? It's very interesting to I really learned it doing my masters that there is a whole science of decision making. There are specialties of decision making which as a surgeons or as a clinicians we really probably don't know. Now, if you look at the decision-making processes, there are usually 4 types of decision-making processes. I will go quickly into that. The first is intuitive. What is it called as the 5-second rule? You know, the surgeon enters, he smells, and he says, this particular patient is having this. You put a hand on the abdomen and you say, this is what it is. And this is a years of wisdom, years of experience really comes through, and you make an intuitive decision. You know, 20-year-old pain with abdomen comes to you and you say it's pancreatitis, this is not perforation. This is what an intuitive decision. Intuitive decisions sometimes can go wrong, but usually they are only a small number of patients where we do intuitive decisions. I'm sure when we were young we used to play these games. There are 4 people who are standing, who will shout first, what is the color of your hair? And we used to answer these kind of puzzles in a very different way. And we used to really say, this is not this because this is this. And this is where we really make decisions on hypothetical deductive thing. And all of us are taught that this is spleen because this is moving with respiration, and this is not kidney because this is moving with respiration. You know, some of these hypothesis and deduction goes in our mind in a very big way. And most of our decisions are based on heuristic, or what is called as an hypothesis. It is the highest in the clinical decision-making hierarchy. Problem solving and requires cautious analytical process. All of us are analyzing every time we see a patient. The third is when you do naturalistic, human kind of a driven. Somebody has gone to eat some food, he has eaten, next day he has a gastritis, we say you have eaten some Chinese and you have got something. Or you have got a traveler's diarrhea. So these are again very small amount of ways by we do it. But there is one more method of doing a decision that is called as the rule-using algorithms. Higher on the clinical decision making, if X then Y, recognize the pattern and apply the rule. So there are rules which come in an heuristic decision making which help us to make decisions. All of us go through this process, but we don't really analyze, understand our decision making process, how I am doing that decision making process. Now if you look, most of us have learned these kind of charts, that if there is a thyroid swelling, if it is a solid or cystic, breast is cystic or solid, you aspirate, it's a blood or no blood, and we try to analyze, and then we try to do a kind of a treatment. Now if you look back and you say, how do we take decisions? Heuristic is about 80%, algorithm is about 15 to 20%, intuitive is about 4 to 5%, and natural event related is only 1%. Now today I am going to concentrate on algorithmic decision making. If you look at the word algorithm, it's a Latin translation of a book written by the Persian mathematician. And this mathematician really wrote a book on Hindu art of reckoning, on calculation of Hindi numerals in about 82825. I mean, we may not be proud of our mathematics, but the world is proud of our mathematics. And he translated that Latin, which called it as algorithmic. The numero indorum came from India, and a set of rules that precisely defines a sequence of operations. And he was the one who brought algorithmic approach into the whole science. Now, when we apply this to the clinical setting of a very common things, something like cholecystitis and cholangitis, which we see nowadays every day. Now, cholecystectomy was uncommon operation. Cholangitis was diagnosed rarely in 1970s. All of us, I remember when I was a student in 76, there was obstructive jaundice. That time I had 67 and 30% mortality. No ultrasound, no CT, no MRI, no US, no ERCP. Dr. Vasant, who was our boss, I remember that time, if he was to do a cholecystectomy, the whole college would come to know. Everybody would come to see in the theatre and stand in galleries to see what he is doing. Cholecystectomy was such a big operation. Today, every day we do 6-7 of cholecystectomies, and today lab cholecystectomy has really become common. However, need for guidelines was there for many years. Now, Charcot's triad, which we use as 70% kind of a sensitivity. Mortality rates of acute cholangitis is 3.9 to 65%. It's a very varied range. And Murphy's sign, it has sensitivity and specificity somewhere around 65% and 87%. That means there are 35% of patients are not picked up on only one clinical kind of an understanding. And second important point is severity assessment is extremely essential in a case where there is a simple to very severe. You know, cholecystectomy sometimes can sweat you, and sometimes it's a very, very lollipop kind of cholecystectomy. All of us have faced this, and therefore it is very important for us to do a risk stratification or a severity assessment. So whenever a patient comes with a cholangitis or cholecystitis, we need to do management of acute biliary infection according to the severity grade. And it's also critical because urgency of treatment and guidelines need to really come. Now with this kind of a background, I'm going to go into something called the Tokyo Guidelines. Now Tokyo Guidelines was a concept which was initiated by Ministry of Health Japan, 2003. World's first acute biliary infection guidelines. And when it was put to the Tokyo University Vice Chairman, he said it's a wonderful idea for patients' sake to establish diagnostic guidelines based on global common standards where there had been none before. Now, I remember this guideline started Japan in 2005, there was a special task force which was really created for this all around the world under Dr. Takada, and it was I think the first thing, I don't know how many of you really know Professor Steve Strasberg, who really talks about many things into laparoscopic cholecystectomy. As a guidelines under development will serve as an important criteria affecting patient outcomes. How about supplementing it with small amount of evidence? So he said, in addition to the consensus, let's add some kind of an evidence. So the whole machinery of Ministry of Japan really started working. There were many groups were created. And the whole purpose of that time, that not only for specialists but also for the first contact physicians, provide best medical practice employing currently available data for the best outcome of the latest clinical research. I was surprised when I got this invitation from the Ministry of Japan, and they said, when we were selecting the authors, we realized that you have the maximum publications from India in this area. Normally when we write a paper, we write and we forget about the papers. Whether it's a student thesis or something, but when it goes into PubMed, we never realize that our paper is read by so many, at so many levels of world. So this was very surprising kind of an event for me. So I was very happy to join this group. It was an extremely intensive process. It was an intensive process where 8 groups were around the world, worked for 2 years to collect evidences, go through the literature on a simple topic like cholecystitis and cholangitis, and develop papers. International consensus meeting was held in 2006. It was like something like a small hall with multi-language kind of a discussion, lot of discussions on a very small point which was really made, consensus among 32 experts which were there, and the first set of guidelines were published in 2007. And what was the point of thinking that time? Basically it was the clinical questions based on daily medical practice. Whatever kind of clinical scenarios we face daily, can you really bring about the algorithm and can you bring about the risk stratification out of that? Sequence of diagnosis and treatment, flowcharts were created, provide the best medical practice among the specialty and the capability, and also give some kind of management guidelines. So a simple process which we would like to do, but it was not so simple because it was really done thoroughly with a lot of evidences. So the first set of acute cholangitis and cholecystitis guidelines came was called as the TG 2007, and it had typically A, B, C criteria about clinical, laboratory and imaging, and there was a suspicion was that if 2 or more items in A, they will call it suspected, 2 or more items in A plus both items, then B and C was definite. So that time we thought, okay, we have made one guideline. Similarly, there were guidelines for the cholecystitis in 2007. And we divided into the simple, moderate and severe. And we gave that if it's a simple, there is no inflammatory much response and there is no systemic involvement. And if you make the systemic involvement, it becomes severe. And that kind of a classification and stratification which was made. Now, what it really means was, at that time, it was a framework for diagnosis and management for acute cholangitis and cholecystitis. As a high level of evidence in the field, is normally usually find that these are the simple things, but the evidence in the field is not so very high at that time. There were no guidelines, no kind of that time were there. So this was the first best literature approach with the expert opinion, that is consensus, and it recognized the wide variation in the severity presentation. It recognized that the cholecystitis and cholangitis could be very wide and you can stratify it and you need to treat it differently with an evidence base. This means a lot when it comes to courts. It means a lot when you're trying to explain the patient. It means a lot when you're trying to teach and follow a guideline. Now what happened after 2007? There was a follow-up. Many publications came after that and people started reacting to these kind of guidelines. Once you create a guideline, there are a lot of reactions across the world and it was very interesting to watch these reactions. The impact of Tokyo guidelines in the management of patients with acute calculous cholecystitis and retrospective study of 235 patients, severity factors confirmed. So they appreciated that severity factors were there. Impact on hospital stay. There were some papers from the Western world which started talking about practice variations. 11% of general surgeons and 32% of GI surgeons routine do early cholecystectomy in UK. What should be the role of TG guidelines? 20% do urgent cholecystectomy. Social hours, longer time, more morbidity, so many questions require experts only, otherwise just to put a drill and come out. Need more studies. So that was in 2009. So once we did that, there was a revision of the cholecystectomy and guidelines which came. So in first revision came in 2013. And that was also in a similar fashion, a similar experience, going through same kind of a newer evidences. And what was really changed? Some amount of criteria were changed. One item in A, one item in B or C was suspected instead of each item in A, B, C. And one item in each A, B, C was a definite. Now definitely that brought a different kind of a picture. Similarly in cholangitis, a CRP was really brought into. Now cholangitis, when it was severe, at least at one time admission, you should have one of the 5 criteria, one of the six criteria should be there. That means if it is an information which is there, for example, in my own relative, when he was admitted in a cardiac and he had a cholecystitis, somebody should have really thought, yes, there is some degree of involvement which has already come and thought about severity, but many times it is not really understood that way. Same way, when you talk about grade 2 moderate cholangitis, you normally associate it with 2 of the following conditions if there are there. Now I am sure contrast CT and MRCP assist you in diagnosis of severity of the cholangitis. But when we think about what really made a change into sensitivity and specificity of these guidelines, so if you look, the TG had 82.6% sensitivity, which went up with 91.8% when it became TG13, and specificity became almost same, in fact it's slightly reduced by 1%. But this was a change. So it is important to study these stratification changes when you are really trying to do. Same thing when you did an acute cholecystitis, we had these kind of criteria of item A and item B, where again Murphy's sign and all these were really thought about. And again when you talk about Doppler has almost about 50 to 80% sensitivity with so much of specificity. Now having said about all these imaging findings, when we went next, there was no change in the criteria of severe acute cholecystitis when it came to the TG13. So TG13 for the first time developed a flow chart with management of cholangitis and cholecystitis. And these were made very clear what do we really need to do for grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3. And this started becoming the standard way of treatment out of the world. And that also prevented a lot of discussion about safety. It also started about when to do early cholecystectomy, when you can safely do urgent cholecystectomy. All these debates really started in the world. And with that, when we started about, there was also response for these kind of guidelines, what you should really do, what are the various options, and when all these delayed cholecystectomy should be really done. So when this 2013 recommended, it has its own recommendation that you do early cholecystectomy in 72 hours. So 72 hours was thought to be that time one of the common factors. I am sure everybody has a different criteria. Somebody works for 1 week, somebody talks about 48 hours. But that time, the world thought, all the world leaders thought 72 hours is a good time. And that was the reason why in a mild cholecystectomy, 72 hours was given as a message to the world. When it comes to grade 2, early cholecystectomy was recommended only the experienced hands. In severe local inflammation, early gallbladder drainage can be done and early LC can be done because it is difficult, followed by delayed surgery. And when it came to the grade 3, it was described that urgent management of an organ dysfunction, management of a severe local inflammation by gallbladder drainage is necessary, and delayed elective cholecystectomy should be performed. So it gave you some kind of a basis, scientific basis to do with this. Now what happened after follow-up of 2013? After 2013, there were a lot of publications started coming. 2 guidelines are reproducible, reliable in diagnosis, but different in severity grading. TG13 are more practical for immediate severity grading. It's a refining way of the world guidelines and enabling and planning treatment upon admission. Intrahepatic obstruction and hypoalbuminemia are predictors of 30-day mortality for further treatment. Now there was a very nice paper which came that procalcitonin is a marker for diagnosis of cholangitis which should be really used. And acute cholangitis with high PCT can signify the need for performing emergency biliary drainage and instituting intensive care, even if the categorized by TG3 is not so severe. Now, there was a tremendous response to these Tokyo guidelines. There were more than 3,000 citations. It was a challenge to go through these citations, what people have really said. And once you go through these papers and you see what comments they have made, you have to use those comments and then try to see what revisions you are going to make. So this is all done internationally, networking, during conferences, workshops you are meeting, and then you are seeing how you are going to take these guidelines further. So it's an exercise to do itself. Now, TG13 severity grading for acute cholecystitis has been validated in numerous studies today, and severity grading for acute cholecystitis was significantly associated with parameters including 30-day overall mortality, length of hospital stay, conversion rates to open surgery, billable procedures, and medical costs. Now, all these are an impact because they give you a framework to work with in an judgmental kind of science. All of us just operate patients for cholecystitis and cholangitis every day, but we do not have a framework to work with. So these guidelines probably gave us first time the framework within which we can work confidently, and we can also say to the courts, yes, this is what we are really working on. Now the second revision of these guidelines came in 2017-18, which was last year. It was also an interesting meeting at Yokohama, and that time again there was a lot of evidence was being discussed. And what was realized was that the TG13 and 18 guidelines, gradings are quite good. We may not really modify them so much. So TG18 brought about a new kind, slightly changing flow charts, where there was a transfer to the advanced center criteria were added, and most of the other criteria were kept same. Now, early lab cholecystectomy for patients with a favorable organ system failure in a severe acute cholecystitis and negative predictive factors with CCI. Now, CCI is something called as the Charleston's Comorbidity Index, and ASA, that is American Society of Anesthesiology kind of grading. So they brought this grading with experienced surgeons practice. So these two were added to make yourself a little safer. Otherwise, TG18 recommended early or urgent biliary drainage followed by delayed lab call once the patient's overall condition was improved. And it also gave a wonderful kind of flow chart for management of severe acute cholecystitis. But what was important about the TG18 was that it also gave a wonderful kind of a Delphi consensus. There is something called the Delphi process, where you go multiple times through the same questions to come out with what are the most important questions. And it gave me the Delphi consensus on bile duct injuries during the laparoscopic. This is one area where now everybody is worried about still bile duct injuries. SAGES came out with guidelines. Then these Delphi consensus came with guidelines. In spite of we doing better and better for cholecystitis, we still are not being able to completely cut off our biliary duct injuries. They still happen. So how we can really make it more and more safer? So that was the whole concerns with this consensus guidelines. So it came out with some of the important factors like patterns of misidentification. Structure 1 is diagnosed as recognized as structure 2, and when to stop, where to stop, how to prevent an injury, and what are alternatives. Now it is always said that fools say they learn from experience. It's preferred to learn from experience of others, and this is what these consensus guidelines really tell you. So if you look at today also the bile duct injury, 76.2% are injuries are still because of misperception. So what are the ways we can really do? So again it gave rise to a standard guidelines like SAGES guidelines. Effective retraction of the gallbladder, always obtaining a critical view, excessive use of arteries to be avoided, and all those clipping is to be done. This is so important for that Kolkata case which I will talk later. Impacted gallstones, severe fibrosis. And it also gives various criteria like where to stop, when to stop, how to prevent. It also talked about the newer guidelines, something like obtaining always a critical view of window. And it also talked about the intraoperative window sign in green fluorescent imaging. Now, this was very evident in the Western world, but in last 1 or 2 years, we have seen many surgeons in our country have started this, and now it is easily available with various kinds of companies. And that probably again is going to reduce. So there is something which is balancing between the standard consensus versus our newer kind of things. So Delphi consensus was reached among the expert surgeons, and it really talked about the rural circles as a Lakshman Rekha. It really marked that as far as possible you are above that Lakshman Rekha, that is rural circles, the chances of you going to damage the viaduct is going to be very less. Critical view of safety was again emphasized here, and cannot standard dissection again was one of the common things. Now, Tokyo guidelines are available on an app. All of you can really download Tokyo guidelines. There's an app which is freely available. You can use it. You don't have to really search anything. Everything is available. Till today, there are already 116 citations for Tokyo guidelines which were published this year. So, how rapidly surgeons and scientists are really responding to these kind of guidelines. Now, if you realize the guidelines really, this is from an app picture. Everything you can calculate, you will just put these scores and it will tell you, it would also suggest you. These are something which is becoming now a trend in most of the world, and we may have to really follow over a period of time. Now, it was a good journey for me in my life because we had never got exposed to such kind of guidelines. In fact, it was an experience to me because I had so many publications which came out of this, which I was the author. I had stalwarts as co-authors. I worked with so many people which were experts like Strasbourg, Nimura, Takada, and you say the name into the HPV surgery, I could work with them. And it was a systematic follow-up of every citation, and it was a good scientific journey. So that brings to me one simple aspect, that what is the role of these guidelines in our life? Why should we really look at these guidelines? Now, evidence is not available for every process and procedure which we do. As we said, many times we learn from teachers. Many times I do a procedure because my boss has told me, or many times I would learn a procedure because I have seen others doing it somewhere in your conference. So I learn from these people. Now, is it really evidence-based? So many times there is a mixture of consensus. Guidelines are not only the guide physicians, but also help us in community and courts. You know, when Kolkata case was really disposed of, and the doctor was asked to pay so much of money for, that clip got slipped, and then the question was asked, why did you put clip? You should have tied it. Because some Malaysian people really said that. And India never had any guidelines. And if you have no guidelines, how are you going to defend ourselves into the court? So let's put all the evidence and consensus together to develop these guidelines. Now, once you have the guidelines, which are seen by so many, cited by so many, it itself not only protects us, but gives us a strength to act in an evidence way. And this is something which I always thought, there are the problems, there are no guidelines for everything. Guidelines cover 60% of the 95% relevant kind of things, and clinical judgment must be used to decide when a guideline must be used. So, when you look at the basic research, most of us are not ready to do or available to do. It creates slowly a clinical research, it develops an evidence-based guidelines, and it ultimately goes into medical practice. But evidence-based guidelines many times are not possible. Everywhere you will not have a randomized control trial. For every situation you will never have a class 1 evidence. But there are many situations where you can have consensus guidelines. Because that's a group of all thinking individuals, a group of experienced people are coming together and putting forward onto the paper some guidelines which will help you to take decisions in an algorithmic way. And this is what we should really do when you're putting all your knowledge, skills, judgments, intuition, professionalism and patient perception. So it was very nicely said by Professor Strasbourg that guidelines represent a suggested course of action based on available evidence. They do not imply that other courses of action are below an acceptable level of care. And this is very important. Guidelines suggest you. While standards are different, once you say I have these kind of standards, that means you cannot use the lower kind of other methods. So guidelines are very open, but they are suggestive. While standards, once you define them, then you cannot go below them. So there is a difference between guidelines and standards we should really use. So how you should disseminate these guidelines and educate and to the practitioners. Now whenever you have guidelines like this put forward, there are always some early adopters. Some of them will use, others will say, I am doing it every day, what is going to happen? Till the time they come into trouble. And then they realize, yes, if I am able to use this and I am able to stratify, this is going to help my clinical judgment to strengthen mine. And that's the way, make that early adopter observable, allow changes, and that is where you can use mobile app more useful and use it. Now if you use importance of clinical guidelines, it is impossible for all of us to keep up up with the medical literature. There is an unexplained variability in the medical practice. What happens in Mumbai and Pune is totally different. Medicine is every day more expensive. Provide the cost-effective treatments to the patient. These are the best guidelines we ever had for this and evidence-based consensus of experts. More than that, today, we as a profession has to protect ourselves against the community, against the patient's violence, and against our courts. And who is going to support us? Who is going to say that what we did was as per what was the standards or guidelines? Now, this is where I think the guidelines have some kind of a role, and all of us should put in all our wisdom, experience to develop these guidelines which are contextual, not the world guidelines. This is what something which is missing in our country, and we need to really progress that, which will, in the long run, will help us to stand alone. So how do we take decisions? If you realize we take only 15 to 20% decisions algorithmic way, we need to increase that and try to see that we add consensus guidelines to much more kind of case-based and case-based scenarios, which will help us to really grow. Now, I would like to end my talk by this kind of a quote by, Steve Jobs was my favorite, and I love him. He used to always quote one paper from Scientific American, which was called as the bicycle technology. And this was a paper from Dr. Wilson. And what he says that the human being is not so powerful as many animals. Something like condor or leopard, or they are much faster runners than what we are. However, if you really look, the human being can innovate many things. Most efficient artificial locomotive system is man on the bicycle. That was the whole paper of the bicycle technology. It's better than the condor and 5 times more efficient than the human alone. So what we do, we are really the human species is dominating the world, and what is so much good about our species, the brilliance of our species is not in our natural capabilities, but in our ability to design tools as extension of ourselves to adapt to the challenges we face. So we are smarter enough to design tools. So similarly, we are good at doing the heuristic decision making. We are good at doing clinical judgments. What we need to do is design these kind of tools or guidelines which will strengthen us and make us much stronger as a bicycle technology, so that we can do a much better decision making in our life. And you will always realize this algorithmic approach and risk stratification are tools which are designed by us to extend our clinical decision ability. This helps us in appropriate treatment, predict risk and prognosis, compare results, and will protect us in consumer courts, because these are consensus guidelines. So to take home message, I would like to say that clinical practices for common diseases many times lack robust evidences. Consensus guidelines not only help surgeons to take decisions, but also help them to protect them against many things. We need to make our own guidelines as a country, and all of us need to really support these kind of guidelines, which though are coming up as a surgical thing, we are becoming a little slower than the other specialties. But it's time to wake up and start making these guidelines and put all your experience of clinical judgment into some kind of consensus guidelines for many things. And that would be probably the next future which we'll be looking towards in clinical practice. So at the end, I would like to really thank you again. And I probably feel that Dr. Mehta really inspired us for doing so many surgeries at that particular time. I think we can also